All right. What's up, everybody? Sterling Anderson here, and you are now inside the Sterling Report here on Grant Cardone TV. Have a great guest with me today, Mr. Raphael Vargas of Ace Equity Pros, CEO of Ace Equity Pros there in DC. He's doing some amazing things in wholesaling. What we're going to do today is talk to you about just 10Xing your wholesaling business. If you're looking to get started or whether you've done deals and you're looking to take things to the next level, we're going to show you today how you can do just that. And we have a guy on the show today that can tell you exactly the blueprint on how to do that. Mr. Raphael Vargas, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, man, thank you. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, man. So kind of tell everybody a little bit about you, man, and Ace Equity Pros and what you got going on and how you got started.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm young. My name is Raphael Vargas.
Dude, you're 24, right?
Yeah, 24 years old. Yeah, man. Started when I was about 20 years old.
Yeah.
And, it's just crazy, man. Just really seeing, just dwelling, every morning. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And, I really just praise and thank God for the blessings that has been bestowed upon me for like 30 minutes in my day. I really just dwell on that. And it truly is a blessing to see where I came from when I was 20 years old, to where I am today, to running a multi-million-dollar wholesaling company in Washington, D.C. It's truly amazing with an amazing team, amazing team full of leaders to help build and truly get to where our vision is, which is inspiring and developing other people as other leaders is absolutely amazing. But yeah, complete 360 from where I was when I was 20 years old, man. Complete 360. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. I always like to hear stories about that, man, and people just really just taking that step out on faith and getting out there and making it happen. What they were doing before certainly wasn't working for them, but they just take and they go and they explode in a whole different level, man. So that's cool. Kind of explain, a lot of people, some people watch and they're not too familiar with wholesaling. Kind of explain what wholesaling is and how you go about doing that.
Yeah, sure. Wholesaling is it's a brilliant concept. I found out about it again when I was 20 years old by a guy that was like, hey, man, you can get into flipping houses with no money down, no money invested. And I was like, dude, how is that possible? I didn't believe it. And then he showed me and I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Because essentially what wholesaling is you find a seller that's distressed, that needs to sell their property, right? We truly provide a service. This is a service-based business, right? So you find a seller that's looking to sell their property for a discount because the property is distressed and it's a burdened property. They need to get rid of it. So you find this homeowner through ways of marketing, strategic marketing. Once you find this homeowner, you sign a contract with the homeowner, and then once you have a contract at a certain price, let's say for $100,000 to purchase their property, you can reassign your rights to purchase that property to another developer or investor for profit. So if you get the property under contract with a seller for $100,000, you can reassign that contract for $120,000 to another investor that's going to rehab it and resell it for $230,000, for example. And so it's a win-win-win for all parties. You make $20,000 from the 120 to the 100,000 spread, and you can close it within 10 days. No money invested, and it's truly an amazing model. It really is life-changing for me.
Definitely life-changing, man. I definitely hear you on that. I mean, we always hear about, what's the best way to get into real estate. And I have to say, hands down, I mean, it's wholesaling. I always tell people, the wholesaling is such a simple process, but it's the implementation that can get people. I mean, it is a business. It does take some work. You do have to do some hustle, but it can be such a rewarding business when it comes to financial freedom, when it comes to time freedom, and just getting out there and really doing what you want to do. This is definitely the business that you can do that with, man. So definitely a good amen to that one. Now you're in DC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How's the market? How's the market out there in DC?
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I'm sure you have followers from all over the United States, and they're all gonna say, my market is competitive. My market, everyone's market is competitive. But truly, like from a statistical standpoint, California, New York, and Washington, D.C. are some of the most competitive markets in the United States. So if a guy from 24 without a college education and barely graduated high school, got kicked out of high school, can thrive in this market, there's no reason that any one of your followers can thrive in their markets.
That's very true, man. I always say, no matter the market, there's deals that can be found anywhere. So, you know, you do the whole, there's no deals or everything. But you can make things happen in so many markets, man, with so many different methods of doing this business, man. So there's definitely some deals out there. There's definitely some ways you can make things happen, man. So that's definitely true. Do you do any virtual wholesaling as well?
Somewhat, yeah,
Okay.
slightly. In Baltimore,
Yeah.
what we're doing now is we're building a retail division, so like a bunch of realtors on our team, so that we can, list properties, provide more of a service to sellers, but also be able to go into different markets a lot easier through hiring realtors and bringing them on to our retail division. And so in Baltimore, we've done a few deals where we have our realtors in Baltimore. They go on appointments for us, they lock up the contracts for us. And then, everything is, we're in my office right now. Everything is in our hub. So our marketing's done here. Our cold calling's done here. Acquisitions, the dispositions, everything is done here. We're actually in the war room, the sales room right here. Grant Cardone would love this room right here, But sales room, we're killing it on the phones all day, every day. And yeah, that's how we do our virtual.
Good, good. Talk about that too, man. That's very important that you brought up, like your team. And when you're scaling, your business, I mean, you got to get to a point. I mean, you guys, this guy's doing, sometimes 100 grand, 350, grand a month, in his business. So kind of talk about your whole team building process and why you need to have a solid team to be able to scale your business.
Oh man, dude, yeah. I mean, not only just, it's not just having a team. It's about having the right people in the right seats. That's really the most important thing. And like, I study a lot of books on leadership. I study a lot of books on business building, and understanding what everyone's unique ability is would then be able to determine what seats they'll be able to be played in, whether it's acquisitions, dispositions, COO management, cold calling. There's so many different, everyone has different unique gifts. A book that I would recommend for, what you just mentioned, accountability, charts, organization, is this book called Traction. It's one of the most implementable business building books that I've ever read in my entire life. And so, an entire team is built off of, for our wholesaling division, for example, we have the marketing division, we have the acquisitions, which is talking to sellers, getting properties under contract. And then we have the dispositions, which is the transaction side, making sure the deal goes to closing, selling the deal to our developers, our investor relationships. And then, there's the management piece, the integrator, which is actually managing all of these pieces, which is my, good buddy, good friend, brother, Joe Dillon. He's a business partner here as well. And then we have a CFO that manages the finances, make sure we're not spending too much. The biggest thing, amazing thing about a wholesale business is that it's an extremely profitable business. We're running almost right about 50% profit margin. And so it really tells you what the possibilities are in this business, not only just to start, but to be able to build a massive empire and team based around this model as well. So, yeah.
Good, good. That's very key and very important in doing that, man. So I hope you guys caught all of that, just about building teams and building systems, just really having the right people behind you to make your business pop. That's certainly key. We know that wholesaling is just, I mean, it's really a marketing intensive business. I mean, we are constantly marketing. If you're not marketing, there's no deals. Without deals, we're not getting to the closing table. So kind of talk to people a little bit more, kind of like your marketing structure. What are you doing now to market for deals, or what's your best way of getting deals?
Right. That's obviously the secret sauce. How do we get deals? Everyone wants to know how you get deals, 10 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on the dollar. And there's so many, like if I told you one way, I'd be lying to you, because there's not one way that we get deals, but there is a lot of strategies that we use that no other real estate investor in the United States, a lot of them at least, are not using. And one of them is cold calling. Grant Cardone is a big component as well on blowing up the phones, getting on the phones, taking massive action. I've really 10x'd my life in so many ways. And the only reason I've been able to do that is by 10x'ing my action. A lot of people just want to send direct mail and then be patient, be passive, wait till the leads come in. We take the initiative. We call homeowners. We call you if you have equity in your property, don't have equity, whatever it is. We give you a call, and we take a more active approach. We've dialed over 30,000 calls in a month before, and we're doing this consistently. It's a huge form of our marketing, and so it's that's something that's very strategic in what we do specifically in our business. how we get these huge deals. But then again, you know, a lot of times it's strategically closing them, because a lot of times we'll get a deal and the lady might owe, you know, 400,000 on a property, and we could sell it for 500,000. And then we find unique ways to negotiate with banks for short pay situations. And then we can get that property for even lower to 300,000, 250,000, and make a $250,000 spread, $175,000 spread, like bigger spreads just from the strategic transaction side as well. And so it's not just the marketing side, it's really everything in the business that works simultaneously. So
great, man. That is awesome. I love that. I love how you have everything set up just to be able just to really go out here and just explode. And as you said, 10X, which we here at the network are all about, 10X and certainly doing it big, man. So that's good. What do you kind of feel like has been when you were starting out, and this will kind of be something that a lot of people getting into the business can identify with. When you were starting out, what do you think was your biggest obstacle, and how did you overcome that obstacle?
Man, probably my biggest obstacle was money. A lot of people, you know, when I first got started, I got introduced to it from a mentor, and he actually told me, hey, pay me $3,000 and I'll teach you everything. I was like, I was such in dire need. I was such in a feeble position. He really took advantage of me. I paid him all my money, literally everything I had. So first of all, risk. Like, I just want to talk on this really quickly. You know, all entrepreneurs, we have to be risk takers. If I never took that risk, I would not be where I'm at today. I paid him $3,000. My net worth was $3,000. I paid him my entire net worth to just have an opportunity to learn, right? And he took all of it. He robbed me. So he robbed me. Not only did he rob me, but then, you know, I lost my job. I got, you know, kicked out of college because I just couldn't afford it anymore because I had no money. And so literally I was put in this position of like, I was lost. And these were probably my biggest obstacles. And, you know, I don't even like to call them obstacles. For me, they're strengths, you know. And like for another example, I'm young. That was a huge obstacle for me, being 20 years old, meeting sellers that are like 50, 60, trying to get their property for 300,000 when your net worth is zero. It's like, how does that work? You know what I mean? That's a huge obstacle. But for me, I never see it as an obstacle. I see it as a positive reinforcement as to I'm younger, I can take more action. I'm more energetic. I can 10X my actions. I can do whatever it takes to actually get to where I need to go. But some of the biggest obstacles for me were financial obstacles because I had no money to market, right? A lot of people have money to do direct mail. I didn't have that. And so I had to find free resources. And then another obstacle, really, like my family and just my surrounding area. You know, I was surrounded with a lot of friends that used to deal drugs and just be very negative in so many ways. I had to change my life, man. I had to 360 my entire life, cut everybody out of my life, reframe my mind state, pick up books, read books from day in to day out, you know, implementing new things, working on myself, working out. I used to be definitely not physically fit, and working on myself mentally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually for me, working on a deep relationship with God. And so my biggest obstacle for me was that I didn't have faith. And so I started putting and implementing more faith in my life. And once I started getting more faith in my life, I truly believe that this dream is possible, and you know, and that God wants me to pursue this, and that I pursued it all wholeheartedly, and it happened. And so, you know, I want us to stop thinking of things as obstacles and start thinking of things as, you know, faith ways to overcome and keep growing. You know what I mean? So yeah, but for example, financial was like a huge obstacle. You know what I mean? So we got free leads from probate. That was my first deal. Probate, free resource, amazing resource. Go to the courthouses, take a bunch of names and people that are going through, you know, death in the families that just inherited a house. That's how I got my first deal. And then after that, I had money to reinvest. So
awesome, man. That is great. That's so important. You guys caught that. It really goes back to that whole mindset and everything.
You're breaking up a lot, man. I don't know what that is in your microphone.
Let's see. You good there? Okay, cool. So that really goes back to the whole mindset is everything piece. And just making sure that you do have that faith, that you do have that will to push forward, that you simply not let your circumstances define you, and you just completely push past that and just explode in just a major way, man. So that's good. I love hearing stories like that, you know, just about people who are just pressing past their circumstances and getting out there and doing it in such a major way.
Thank you.
Also kind of leads back to, for the people who are just jumping in, kind of tell them if they really want to explode their business, if they're starting, with just no money, they're trying to figure out how to do a deal, they're trying to do their first deal. What are some of the things they should be doing like right now that they can implement in their business today to start going out and making some things happen and doing some deals?
I'm going to tell you two things. One will be on the mentality, and second one will be something that they can do in their business. The first thing in their mentality is, cut off all ties. Cut off everything. Cut off everything. If you want to take this business as seriously as I'm taking it right now, and as serious as you're taking it, we must cut. There should be no plan B. You know what I mean? No plan B, no plan C. You got a day job. You got cut off everything. I had to cut off everything to focus on this over 200 hours a week, days I would not sleep. Have faith that this is going to work. So mentality-wise, cut off everything that's a distraction in your life, including other jobs or plan Bs. This is plan A, and plan A is going to work, right? Second thing for the newbies, in your business, what you can be implementing immediately, knocking on doors. I mean, get yourself uncomfortable. Knock in areas that developers and investors are actually, buying in. Knock on doors. Knock on everyone's doors. If you knock on 100 doors in a day, I guarantee you will get a deal. Not only will you get a deal, but you will mentally strengthen yourself to be able to put yourself in uncomfortable positions and become a sales master like Grant Cardone, like you, like myself. We have a lot of sales skills, communication skills, so that we can master and really learn about sales, because this is a marketing, communication, and sales business. So immediately something they could do, knock on 100 doors today. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, wherever you are, doesn't matter. Knock on 100 doors in one day, and I guarantee you'll get ridiculously further than, a lot of people will.
That's awesome, man. That's good. So, I mean, he definitely gave you guys some great tips to be able to get out there and start making some things happen today. So I hope you guys take advantage of that and get out there and make it happen, man. So, you've got this massive wholesaling business, and I know you've scaled that. It wasn't always that way. I know that you've scaled it, man. So kind of talk to me about like your best deals. How many deals are you guys doing per month, and what's the average of those deals? And just kind of talk to me just how your business exploded and got to this level that it is right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, through the grace of God, honestly, but how it exploded, to be completely honest, was finding the right people. In your business, like I'm sure you can attend to this, and Grant Cardone can as well. Having the right people in your business is so key. You can have your business, your accountability charts, everything in order, but if the wrong people are in the wrong seats, you won't have a thriving business. And I think one of the biggest things that happened for our business to explode is I tried so many different kinds of people, and I put them in. Dude, I had the structure. You know what I mean? I put the people in the seats, but there were the wrong people for the right seats. Wrong people in the right seats. And so one of the biggest things that exploded our business was putting the right people in the right seats. And when they were in the right seats, they were able to really use their unique gifts to the best of their ability and really help us explode our business. Going to our deals, like last month, we did about $450,000 in wholesale assignment fees, which is like the biggest month we've ever done. But we've had huge deals, anywhere from like, huge deals from like $125,000 to $300,000 wholesale fees. It's because we focus on development type areas, development type deals, condo conversion type deals where there's value added to bigger, net worth developers. And so that's how we get these deals. We started focusing, hey, if we can wholesale a single family property, why can't we wholesale multifamily property? Why can't we wholesale development type property? And so, yeah, so
that's good, man. And that's one of my things I'm looking at too. I would love to get more into wholesaling more multifamily properties. In fact, that's something I'm working with Grant on doing, is doing the whole wholesaling thing. But when it comes to multifamily, how did you guys get into that? I mean, it's kind of what's the biggest, well, obviously larger numbers, larger deals, but when it comes to wholesaling, apartment buildings or commercial properties or what have you, what's the kind of the biggest difference in between that single family and then moving over to there, and how'd you guys do that?
You know, really the only difference, because we literally use the same contracts. It's funny. Everything is the same.
Cool.
The process is the same. The biggest difference is your mentality on it, because you really have to just really learn about what do developers now, you know, these are two different people. You know, single family and development is two completely different types of development. And so commercial development or apartment holders, they're looking at properties differently than a single family rehabber does. And so you just need to reframe and put on the developer helmet and just say, hey, what does this development see as a deal, developer see as a deal? What does the deal make sense for him? Once you understand development in your areas, you know, for example, in DC, C2A zoning properties, R5D zoning properties, once you understand, hey, the FAR is this, you can build X on this, you can do condos are selling for this. Once you understand development and put on the developer hat, you can then evaluate properties and search for properties that are and have that development type opportunity or commercial opportunity, and then sell it to these high net worth developers and commercial investors. So
that's awesome, man. So, and, you know, and for people out there, you don't necessarily have to just stick to single family all the time. I mean, of course, you can grow your business and scale to do that commercial. I mean, usually the natural progression of a wholesaler can be, okay, I'm going to start with single family, then I'm going to move to fixing and flipping. I'm going to do some rentals, and then maybe get into some commercial. Many different types of ways that you can be in this business to be able to make something happen. But commercial is such a bigger playing field, but so many great opportunities to be able to make something happen, you know, in that space, man. So that's awesome. That's great. So I hope you guys also picked up that as well. You know, if you're currently doing deals right now, check out some things in, you know, in commercial and multifamily. That's a big field out there, big playing field, but definitely Raphael showing you that it can be done, and being able to make that happen, man. So that's cool. I like to learn a little bit more about how you do that, man. We'll have that on another conversation. I'll pick your brain. I'll do that. So we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Cool deal. All right, good deal, man. So kind of talk about you know, advice for newbies coming into the business, man. So I have so many, and I get so many questions. How do I get into the business? And, you know, how do I make things happen? You know, I know we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier as well, but just kind of let newbies know what they should expect, you know, coming into this business. Everybody sees, you know, the checks being posted and, you know, success stories and things like that. But this business is a grind. Now it's a very well worth it grind, but this business is definitely a grind, and you have to have the right mindset to be able to do this business. So kind of tell, you know, newbies coming into the business what they can expect, and of course what they should be doing to have success.
Do not expect this to be easy. You know, do not expect this to be easy. I mean, you and I both know this business, honestly, it's truly a blessing. It's been a blessing in my life, and it's been a blessing in everybody that's on my team's life. They're making a lot of money as well. But it's not easy. You know, if you're starting off by yourself, you have to be truly a unique human being to really be super successful in this business, because it's not easy. It's really not. So don't expect to send out 1,000 postcards and suddenly you get all these calls coming in, and immediately, you know, now you're closing deals and cashing $10,000 checks, $100,000 checks. It's not that easy, right? And so what I would say is expect to be flooded and expect to talk to as many people as possible, right? You must master sales. That's one of the biggest things. A lot of people don't expect to, you know, they need to talk to hundreds or even thousands of sellers before you get your first deal. It took me 8 months to get my first deal. 8 months. And this was being extremely productive every single day. And like Grant Cardone said in 10X rule, you always underestimate how much action you actually need to take to be successful. And dude, I underestimated it like hell. I had to do ridiculous amounts of action. So for the newbies getting into this business, make sure you don't underestimate this business. This is not an easy business. You know, you must grow yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically if you want to seriously take this business to another level, to the multi-million-dollar mark, to even the six-figure mark, right? You really have to treat it like a real business, treat yourself more seriously, and talk to as many people as you can, because we have to master sales to be able to be successful in life. Really, to communicate, you have to be successful in sales. So expect to talk to a lot of people. That's one of my biggest takeaways. You know, go to as many appointments as possible. Talk to as many sellers as you can as possible. Get comfortable with your market. Understand what properties are selling for in what zip codes. Break every area down by zip codes. That's one of the best ways to do it. So you know, when as soon as you hear a zip code, oh, I can pick up single family homes for 70,000 in this zip code. Oh, I know this zip code. I can pick up properties for 150,000 in this zip code. And so you know your market like the back of the hand. Study your market, right? Study your buyers. Find out what they're buying. And then study the sellers in your market. Understand your clientele and become a servant to them. And I guarantee you'll be successful. You know, never underestimate your action, though. Yeah.
Man, he gave you guys some awesome nuggets of info that you can start to get out there today and start to implement. That was so good, man. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone who's watching. I got Periscope going on now, so I kind of want to see if there's anybody out there that has any questions for Raphael. This will actually be on the show, on the Sterling Report on Grant Cardone TV. So if anybody wants to pop in, anybody has any questions for Raphael, pop those in right now. Get a couple questions before we wrap up here. But he's definitely showed you guys some great information. And for you guys just popping in, I'll be sure to post when the air date of this show is going to happen. But man, so much great information from a guy who took, and I mean, just at 24 years old, is scaling his business, taking massive action, and getting out there and making it happen. He's giving you guys the blueprint today on how to get out and crush it and just to do those things. So I'll make sure I post when the show is going to air and be able to make it happen. Alex asked, do you meet with developers first before marketing for development deals?
That's a great question. Yes, I would do so. Absolutely. You want to understand exactly, I'm about to share your post right now, by the way, but you want to understand what your buyers are looking for. Always want to understand what your buyers are looking for so that you can start finding those development type deals. Single family is a lot easier because there's a lot more rehabbers. But when it comes to development, it's trickier. Honestly, it's trickier. And those developers are also a lot more picky. You know what I mean? Because they only want certain type of zoning. They only want, X amount of condos or certain kind of projects. So it's a lot trickier. So always understand what your developers are looking for and meet with as many developers as you can. One of the biggest ways that you can find developers is MLS. I mean, dude, the MLS is such a powerful tool. You need to get the MLS. Even if you need to become a real estate agent just to get the MLS, trust me, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. We use the MLS every day, and it's not only good for evaluating, properties, but it's good for finding developers. It's good for finding realtors that represent developers. It's good for finding out what kind of development is happening in your market, how to analyze different areas, because you can truly see in real time, the most current information on recent property sales in your area. And so it's going to give you an amazing tool. So one way to find developers is literally look up on the MLS, new construction, new development type deals, condo to conversion, commercial type properties, and start talking to the realtors that are representing those sales. And now okay, this realtor is representing this developer. Sit down with that realtor, take him out to lunch. First of all, he's a very, high level realtor, so he doesn't, waste a lot of time. Come to him straight, mean business, take him out to lunch, meet with him, understand what his buyer's looking for, and then do deals that way. And I guarantee you, as soon as you do one of these kind of deals, it will be, you'll just get flooded with all these developers blowing you up all the time. Like, hey man, I heard you got this guy for this guy. Real estate, honestly, is a tight niche market. So as soon as you start getting known in your market, everyone starts hearing about you, man. Everyone starts hearing about you. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we had another question. A guy had popped in and said, he has a mentor, been working with him for a little bit, and he wants to jump out and start doing his own thing and just kind of let his mentor go. What kind of advice would you be able to give to him about doing that?
If you're having thoughts on leaving your mentor, then I think that's I'm assuming he's not a very good mentor. unfortunately, I mean, I know people like yourself. You're an amazing mentor. I'm having a hot seat event. I'm not a mentor, but I'm having one event that I'm raising money for charity. So that's the reason why I'm having this event, July 2nd and 3rd. So if anybody watching this is interested, July 2nd and 3rd, we're going to be having an amazing event on how to explode your wholesale business the way we have to the multi-million-dollar mark. But an advice for him leaving his mentor is, you know, that's the best advice. Leave your mentor and start implementing things yourself. Start making mistakes, dude. Make a lot of mistakes. Make so many mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Document all of your mistakes so that you can learn from your mistakes. And I guarantee you, you will be developing at such a high rate. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The only thing we should fear is God. And so there's no reason why we should be scared of making mistakes, being scared to cold call a homeowner, knocking on a homeowner's door. It's like, dude, this business is for men and women that are fearless, right? Really. And so that's my biggest thing is become fearless. Read the 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. It's literally all about fearlessness, entrepreneurship. Read that book, and I guarantee you that'll help steer you in the right mentality, the right way, you know?
That's awesome, man. Good, good, good. One of my guys, Mike Hayes, one of my students popped in. He's actually in your market too. He said he took some of your strategies and started to implement that. Mike's going to do some big things in that market. Are you familiar with Mike Hayes?
I think he watches me on Periscope. I haven't met him. Yeah.
You definitely plug into him, man. He'd definitely be a great guy to work out with and make some things happen out there too.
Okay.
Awesome. They wanted to know how much for the hot seat event.
The hot seat event is $5,000. $5,000 including the hot seat event. Everyone gets copies of my Podio system. We have an amazing Podio system that we spent, CRM system that we spent over $40,000 really, building it out, spent months and months and months developing it, all surrounded around this book, Traction, right? So it tracks all your numbers. It tracks your team's productivity. It tracks everything to a high level so that you don't have to. And then, it's just an amazing system. You get the Podio, you get the accountability chart, how we built our business. You get the processes in each role, so you understand what each person needs to be doing when you hire them. You put them in place. You train them with the process maps, the standard operating procedures, the vision chart, the scorecards to track your numbers. I mean, pretty much everything you need to scale the business. The $5,000 is not going to my pocket. It goes to charity. So I grew up with a mentally disabled brother and underprivileged as a young adult, with no father, no leadership. And so it's my duty to give back to the mentally disabled because I knew how much of a struggle it was trying to take care of my brother, and also how much it was a struggle not having a father figure, not having a real leader in my life. God was my leader. And so, if I can, use this as, charity money to give back to the ones in need, then that's the reason why we're doing it. So
good. I love that. And the fact that everything is going towards charity, man, that's really big. So congrats to you on that event. Congrats on and making that happen. How can they get a hold of you for that?
You can email me directly, Raphael, RAPHAEL at Ace Equity Pros, ACEEQUITYPROS.com. Raphael at aceequitypros.com.
Awesome. Well, man, with it, this has been truly an info-packed show, man. I thank you so much for being able to share everything with everyone about how you started, how you scaled your business, some great things that you're doing for charity, and just really just getting out there and exploding and taking action in this business, man. So kind of leave people with just kind of like some last thoughts on the business and getting out there and just really crushing it. And of course, also how to get in contact with you with any websites, anything else that you have to put out there as well.
I'm going to leave you with this. The business is 10% making money, right? 90% mentality. 90% mentality. It really is. And so that's why I try to focus so much on the mentality aspect more than just the money-making business aspect. When I started reframing, when everything was going wrong in my business, it was because I was so focused on making money in my business. When I started focusing on how can I develop myself, how can I develop my love and relationship with God, how can I develop the people in my business, how can I develop them and build a stronger relationship between us, how can I understand their unique gifts more. When I started thinking like that, that's what exploded my business. Not how can I do more cold calls or more direct mail. It wasn't that. It was, how can I develop myself? How can I develop my relationship with God? How can I develop my people in leadership, you know, to help all of us, you know? And so that's the biggest thing. So don't focus so much on the business. The money's going to come. It will come if you focus on developing yourself, you know, and you consistently do the actions necessary to do deals. You know what I mean? And become uncomfortable, like knocking on doors. If you've never done a deal, go knock on 100 doors, make yourself uncomfortable. You might not get any deals, but I guarantee you the mental strength, the 90% that helps you get deals is what's actually going to be necessary for when deals start coming in.
Awesome, man. There it is. Well, you guys have heard from the best, Mr. Raphael Vargas, CEO of Ace Equity Pros, man. Thank you so much for being on the show today. How can people also get in contact with you and your social media and everything?
Appreciate that. Yeah, my social media, you can follow me on Periscope, 703_go-getter, GOGETTA, 703_go-getter. And then my Snapchat, you can follow me on Snapchat. It's just backwards. It's go-getter, GOGETTA _703. Then you can follow me on Facebook. Just look up Raphael Vargas, you know, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, again, man, thank you so much. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I'll be sure to post when this is going to air. You can always catch on this and other episodes at grantcardonetv.com/The Sterling Report. Have some more great interviews for you guys coming up as well. Raphael, thanks so much for being on, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys take care.
Take care.